Hi folks, as you see we got a little bit of snow. It's a wet, cold and miserable state of affairs really. We have to live with that for a few weeks probably, when it starts to get really cold, and then there will be some real snow. It does make trekking quite a lot easier though, but hey, it's melting fast and I'm actually going to trek myself back over places where it's been melted, so I can see how the trek is affected by that. Anyway, what is not so much easy now, that is making a fire, and I've showed you that before. This kind of situation where you have melting snow and it's wet, it's really annoying to make a little fire for your brew on the ground. So I'm going to do the suspended Crusader setup Mark II basically. This one is going to be much easier, and just for a cup of brew. A simple, interesting way to use your Crusader cooking system if you have one. So bear with me. So if you've watched earlier films of me, then you know I quite often use my Crusader cup. There is a cooking system with that, a little cup to hold some gel or whatever you wish to burn. So that's a thing I like to use. It's easy to take with me. But yeah, over time I've made some additions to the set. Like I always have a bit of aluminium foil. It's basically a serving plate. I can use it to make a fire on, to use as a little lid, stuff like that. I have these two kind of croquet hoops that I can put into the ground and put the cooking system under, or just make a fire under it and put my cup on there. But today I don't want to be on the ground. It's wet and it will be just annoying to have a fire on there. So I'll put this down. Now this thing I will use again. Basically reuse it, and I will show you in a minute. Got my cup here with some stuff in. Not using that too much basically, but I will show you in a minute. Like this is the system. Basically a blackened Crusader cup canteen, and this is the cooker. Usually you can put in some eco gel or a hexa tablet or resin from the spruce tree. I like to use a lot. Makes it pretty black, this as well, or little nuggets of wood. That works great. But if you use nuggets of wood, you have to have a slightly more of a distance to it. So this thing, it's just a piece of iron, metal wire, and I've been using this in two other films. The first one I think that I use it to put the cup in, so to suspend the cup on a wood gas stove. Later I used this as well to suspend the burner with a few ropes between two trees, and that was the suspended Crusader setup that the movie is called like that. So today we're going to make it even less complicated. I'm going to reuse this and have a few extra bits, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So in this little pack that the Crusader cooking system comes in, there is a little pouch here. It comes standardly with a fire steel. It's basically a BCB fire steel that I have hanging from my knife. But I put in another big lighter. I have a commander wire saw and a few bits of cordage. And it's that cordage I will need right now. And the lighter is pretty handy too, but I got several, so that's not. A bit of cordage. That's what I'm looking for. Right. So, you see this little tree? that's what I'm going to use. And the Crusader, it has like a nice grip, which is made out of 2 pieces of metal. And I'm going to use that one because what I can do, I can take it and attach it to the tree. And that's pretty nifty, isn't it? And I want to attach it pretty high up. And this little rope already has a little knot there. I'm going to use, I think it's called an arbor knot, to make sure it's tight around the tree. That usually, but I'm going to make that quick release though, because I don't. Put it high. Like this. I want to make that a bit looser. Like that. That's hanging. And you will see that is enough. That is strong enough. You can put some water in there, no problem. And now the simple bit for the cooking system. I got 3 little metal wire hooks. It's really stupid, but it does work. So now I got my my little wireframe holder for the cooker. I put it in there, and then I got 3 of these small little hooks, which I have in the pack for the Crusader cooking system. And I guess you can already guess how this is going to work. You put one there, put one there, and the third we put here. And then using the little frame for the and then now we're going to make this work so that it is nice and balanced. Something like this. That'll work. And you can bend these little things so that it hangs as you want it. In this case, the tree is slightly on an angle, the cup is slightly on an angle like this. So this is pretty okay. I think it's most important that the fire cup is hanging straight. So yeah. All I need to do is make a fire. I was in luck. There were some nice spruce trees out there, and see, I got a whole bunch of resin. Small little round blobs hanging from the tree. This will probably be enough to cook my water. A little bit of birch bark to get it burning. It's not really easily to light this if it's not like a slightly rougher form. These small round things, you cannot hold them in your hand so easy. So let's try to light this. It's a nice piece of birch bark. It is pretty damp and wet, but the oil will burn, so that's no problem. Feed it some. We just need enough for it to light. Put a little bowl in of the resin and see if it will burn. Another little bowl there as well. So, pin to make sure they're touching the fire. So the birch bark is burning, and it does seem to, yeah. The resin is also burning. I'm smelling that, so that's good. Well, you see, that is a very simple system. The Crusader little stove is just suspended from 3 metal wires hanging into the cup. And the cup itself, well, it's just attached to a tree. And that is because of the grip is, well, particularly well formed to do that. And here it's not at all hot. The rope won't burn, the grip won't get too hot. And, well, keeps you from the ground. And you don't have to stand bent over, and this is all very comfortable. Right, so I'm pretty sure this will work with other systems as well, with the Rothko cup and whatever not. But you need something to dispense your fire in. You can make a little plate yourself, just like David Pearson does with his grill or whatever. It's basically the same kind of principle here. But yeah, if you have the Crusader cup system, just add these 3 little metal wires and a little ring to suspend your cup, your fire cup from. And you always have the option to get away from the floor, from the ground. You must have trees, of course, and you have to be a bit careful. All right, that's coming nicely. Maybe that little bit of resin will be enough. But you see, the the cup is getting really, really black. That's the only downside of using resin. It's a really hot flame, but it's really black. You see all this smoke? But very hot. So, my water is boiling, and you will notice that these wires down here, they are not all that hot. You can actually, if you keep a bit low, not here maybe, but you can still touch them. And also because of the Crusader has this little lip that you normally would put in, you can take this one and easily remove the burner. Now you can put that away. It's pretty important that you clean that out immediately, because otherwise it will be very hard. And then just with a little bit of sphagnum I clean it out. And then here it's pretty hot. Best thing is to remove all the hard bits. Make sure you don't touch the cup, because that's really hot now. So this is pretty acceptable. So this is all you need to add to your Crusader. Three hooks and something to suspend the fire cup in. So now it's pretty handy that you had the arbor knot and make that a quick release, because I can just pull it and the whole rope is gone. And here I got a nice cup of brew. I'm not going to drink it from this one for once, because now this is really, really black. You'll see it's a nice matte black soot from the resin. So in this case, it's pretty nice that I had the cup with me. So it's a really nice and easy way to get your small fire for a brew off the ground when it's like this, wet and snowy and so on. And yeah, it's just fun too as well, of course. You don't have to stand there, bend over on your knees in the wet stuff. This is way easier. I'm just standing with the tree, no problem whatsoever. So after my tea I will try to actually track myself back. A lot of the snow has now been melting, so that's interesting to see how that affects the tracks. I hope you all liked this little demonstration, and see you on the next film, guys.